President Uhuru Kenyatta yesterday convened an urgent meeting with Raila Odinga and the One Kenya Alliance leadership led by Kalonzo Musyoka, Musalia Mudavadi, Gideon Moi, and Moses Wetangula at State House in Mombasa. I want us to dissect that meeting, and I'll concentrate on 4 things. I'll concentrate on the body language based on the photos which were shared by State House, the options available for the One Kenya Alliance movement and Raila Odinga and President Uhuru Kenyatta's game plan, and also the concerns of the president during that meeting, and look at the outcome of that meeting. But before we do all those, if you're watching this channel for the first time, I want you to take a second or two and click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Without that support, this channel cannot be where it is today. As we speak now, the Azimio La Umoja is currently underway in Homa Bay at a place called Sikri. Sikri is just within Oyugis, just near Oyugis town. So I'll be following that event because I'm not able to go there because of the COVID regulations. I'm not able to go there, but I'll follow the events. I received so many of my friends from Nairobi who are headed there, and they'll brief me of the outcome of that particular meeting. Now let us go back to the main business, and I want to begin by trying to understand the body language during yesterday's meeting. And I'll go to President Uhuru Kenyatta's Facebook page. I'll go here and check on the photos which were shared actually by State House on that page, not State House Facebook page, sorry, not Uhuru Kenyatta. And by the way, the State House was saying President Uhuru Kenyatta meets political party leaders to discuss COVID containment measures. His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta today at State House Mombasa met a cross-section of political party leaders to discuss the country's COVID containment measures in the wake of rising infection and mortality rate. At the meeting attended by the Right Honorable Raila Odinga, Kalonzo Musyoka, Musalia Mudavadi, Gideon Moi, and Moses Wetangula, the leaders agree to play a leading role in encouraging Kenyans to abide by the COVID containment protocol and interventions including uptake of vaccines. Once again, the political party leaders applauded government efforts to contain the spread of COVID in the country and appealed to Kenyans to take personal responsibility as to safeguard the health and the well-being of all Kenyans. Also present at the meeting were Head of Public Service Joseph Kinyua, Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i, Mutai Kagwe, among other senior government officials, Kanzedena. So basically what the status is saying is that this meeting was purely about COVID. I don't agree with that. If it was about COVID, none of these political party leaders is an expert in health matters. But let us not get into all those. Let me look at the photos. From the photos here, you can clearly see that Raila Odinga is seated to the right of the president. That's the seat which is normally reserved for the Deputy President William Samoei Ruto anytime he attends these meetings. And the question is, why was the Deputy President missing at this event? The fact of the matter is that the president is telling Kenyans that he has actually moved on without his deputy. So that's one thing I picked from here. And the mere fact that Raila Odinga has taken his seat means that Raila Odinga is now recognized as part of President Uhuru Kenyatta's game plan. To his left is Fred Matiang'i. Of course, someone can argue that Raila Odinga is the senior-most guy here, and that's why he was seated next to President Uhuru Kenyatta. In government, ideally, the person who ought to have sat on the seat which the Right Honorable was occupying is actually the Health Cabinet Secretary, Mutai Kagwe. And just like I keep on saying that in politics, nothing happens out of mere coincidence, It was planned like that. So we can clearly say that there's President Uhuru Kenyatta, and then there's Raila Odinga, and then there's the Prime Minister, who is Fred Matiang'i, and then there is Kalonzo Musyoka based on the pecking order. Then the other side, I can see Mutahi Kagwe. Then when you come this side, you see Musalia Mudavadi. You go the other side, you see Kinyua. You come this side, you see Weta. Then there's Gideon Moi. Then there's Oparanya. Oparanya is not mentioned anywhere in the post by State House. That is also by design. Because remember, the last time Oparanya was mentioned, it didn't go down well with the former NASA COP principals Musalia Mudavadi and Wetangula, because it's not a party leader. And because Oparanya was accompanying Raila Odinga, also that did not go down well with the group. So I think this time around, the State House decided not to mention Oparanya. So that's the first thing I read from those photos. The second thing is that ahead of this meeting, President Uhuru Kenyatta met with Raila Odinga. Then he later on met with Kalonzo. It's when they went for this bigger meeting. What were those guys discussing separately? And the question I'm asking, why is Musalia Mudavadi being left out in most of these meetings? I think Musalia Mudavadi has been identified as a headliner, and probably the president was trying to persuade Kalonzo Musyoka to stick with Raila Odinga. I'm told that the headliners in this camp is none other than Musalia Mudavadi. So the mere fact that the president met with Raila separately, met with Kalonzo separately, and not with Weta or Mudavadi separately, it means that the president has started now engaging these people directly. And in my view, the president is so keen on Kalonzo Musyoka sticking with Raila Odinga. The third thing, which I think I've talked of or mentioned, is William Ruto missing. Why do you think he was missing? Either he was not invited, but again, being the principal assistant to the president, probably was invited, or maybe the president realized that whenever they invite the DP to these events, he doesn't spare time, or maybe he was just locked out of this meeting. Because we all know the deputy president's stand when it comes to the issues of COVID. So, in my view, those are the body language. Those are what I read from that particular meeting. Now, let us go to the options. What are the options of this group? Because the president is keen on uniting these people. And because of personal ambitions, some of them are not willing. But what options do they have? In my view, they only have two options. The first option is for Raila Odinga and One Kenya Alliance to go solo. If they go solo, what is going to happen is that they are going to lose to William Ruto. And One Kenya Alliance movement is going to lose badly. And because all of them will be running, it will mean we are going to go for a runoff. And this is one thing which the president is not keen on pursuing. The president wants a case where these guys are united, they go to the polls, and then they defeat William Samoei Ruto in one instance. The second option for them is to form a grand alliance. Basically, that is what the president is pushing for. But who is going to be the flag bearer? If Raila Odinga is the favored, do you think Raila Odinga can agree to play second fiddle to One Kenya Alliance leadership? What about Weta? Weta, I'm told, is okay. What about Musalia Mudavadi? Musalia Mudavadi is keen on running, not necessarily for 2022, but for 2027. He wants to build a political party, and he believes that if he can qualify for the political party's funding, then in 2027 he'll be set. And of course, he's also under a lot of pressure from his team. Kalonzo Musyoka is not having much problem. His problem is how to reach out to Ukambani. And probably that's what they discussed with the president separately. So those are the only options they have. And when these guys met, the president had some concerns. And the president's concerns were actually three. The first concern was the hardline positions, which were being adopted by One Kenya Alliance and Raila Odinga team. You see, when One Kenya Alliance went for that meeting in Naivasha, Raila Odinga organized another meeting very fast in Nakuru. And what's the outcome of that meeting? That Raila Odinga was going to go outside there to campaign. It was to counter or to take away the limelight from the Naivasha event. In Naivasha, they're also saying that they are going to run or sponsor a presidential candidate amongst themselves. So there's that hardline stance. And this is what is worrying the president, because the president is keen on these guys working together. The second concern of the president, which he actually appealed to them, was that they needed to leave options open. That Weta, Mudavadi, Kalonzo can go out there in their backyards, campaign. But whenever they are campaigning, they should not be attacking Raila. Raila Odinga should go outside their campaign, but whenever they are campaigning, they should not attack Kalonzo, so that they leave options of working. Raila Odinga can decide, based on prevailing circumstances, I'm not able to become the president, so I'm supporting Kalonzo. Or Kalonzo will decide that 5 years is not a long time. Even if we go alone, we are not going to win. So the best thing for us, let us support Raila Odinga, be part of government, and then after that, we can make a comeback. So basically, the president is trying to ask them to leave their options open so that you don't become rigid. And the third concern of the president was that these guys are still trying to evaluate their positions and reach compromise. So you look at yourself, you want to be president. Can you become a president? And where are the votes? Okay, if I can't become president, if I can't become the president, what can I become? Can I become as a government? I mean, a governor of Nairobi? Or can I become a cabinet secretary? Or what? So the president is concerned that these guys are not evaluating their positions well so that they can compromise. Raila Odinga, what options if he's not going to be the presidential candidate? So those are the president's concerns. But what was the outcome of this meeting? Because these guys met. They've actually met. Now Raila Odinga has met President Uhuru Kenyatta 3 times. Kalonzo twice. President Uhuru Kenyatta, I think 4 times. Uhuru and Raila, I think, have met 4 times. Kalonzo now 3 times. These are the guys 2. But what is the outcome? Number 1, I think the outcome is that the One Kenya Alliance movement has started conceding grounds. And that's what the president wants. Conceding grounds means most of them are now willing that they can negotiate with Raila Odinga. They can work with Raila Odinga. Initially, they were very categorical that they can't work with Raila Odinga. And that should be actually good news to President Uhuru Kenyatta. So that's number 1. The second outcome is that these guys are hoping and waiting for the outcome of BBI so that they don't make moves. If BBI is going to, if the court ruling is going to favor BBI, then someone like Kalonzo can decide, okay, I'm going to be the prime minister. Someone like Weta can decide, okay, I'm going to be the speaker. So they are still waiting for the outcome. What I don't know is if the BBI ruling is not going to favor the proponent, what are they going to do? And lastly, the outcome is Raila Odinga as the focus. President Uhuru Kenyatta has insisted that the only person who can defeat William Samoei Ruto is Raila Odinga. And I've stated on this channel severally that President Uhuru Kenyatta's primary objective in all these things is to block his deputy William Samoei Ruto. And personally, up to this stage, I don't know what transpired between President Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy, because these were a dynamic duo. But the president has now made Raila Odinga the focus of this group. So any other calculation is being made around Raila Odinga. If you don't want to work with Raila Odinga, tell the president how you are going to get the numbers. If you don't want to work with Raila Odinga, who are you going to work with? So those are the questions which the president is asking. And basically, those are the 3 outcomes out of this meeting. And I'm told another meeting has been scheduled. And by the way, there's something which I've been observing. Is there someone out there who is sabotaging Raila Odinga's campaigns? Because remember, when the president and Raila Odinga were to come to Kisumu, someone started inflating the figures, COVID figures from Kisumu. And Kisumu became an epicenter. Raila Odinga just had to force that meeting to take place. Then, at some point, Raila Odinga started campaigning for the BBI. Again, COVID issues came up. Then, the other week, after the Naivasha, after Nakuru, Raila Odinga embarked or released his roadmap. He was supposed to be in Homa Bay today. Tomorrow, he was supposed to be in Kakamega. Then Coast. Someone has come up with the figures that we have high mortality rates now, and the COVID figures are rising. Is it coincidence, or someone is trying to sabotage Raila Odinga? That's my next video, and it's going to be hot. Don't miss that video. Please subscribe now if you're watching for the first time, because what we do on this channel is that we analyze politics in a way you can't find any other place. So the best thing, just subscribe now. And to the subscribers, I want to continue. Thank you guys for your continued support. I have so many people, I have so many messages from my WhatsApp. Some I'm not able to read, so many of them. People are like, you are doing a good job, you know, but it's only possible because of your support. Thank you, and may you have a good day.